Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to another edition of the England Roger Sports Hour on Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. It's another beautiful Saturday here in Toronto, GTA area in Mississauga, where I am. So it's looking good for those who want to get outdoors later on. You can get out and do something fun. We have another packed show as usual for today. There's a lot going on. The NBA playoffs have started. The tennis is happening. Formula One back on again. Hockey playoffs. Of course, we'll discuss some cricket, track and field heating up, some Diamond League results Roger's going to speak about today, and a lot of soccer actually, and other stuff that we will discuss. So stick with us and make sure that you enjoy the day because it's going to be another great edition of the Roger and Ingle Sports Hour. And Roger is back with me. Roger, I was just talking about the things that we're going to talk about today because there's a lot happening and saw some results from China, I think it is, with the Diamond League.
Yes, China
And
is on, and so much
yeah,
going on, so much cricket,
so much, and a lot of
so
cricket.
much
Yeah,
track and field, so much
yeah.
soccer. Everything is just on fire right now. I guess it's time that we call summertime. So everybody's outside doing something.
Yeah, it's that time of the beautiful weather actually over the last couple
Awesome
of
weather. Awesome
rain,
weather.
but now it's good. So
It
yeah,
is.
it's great. And I was mentioning that NBA playoffs have started. The play-ins are done, so now we get into the real thing. And
Yeah, and have you seen any surprises, or you expected what you saw?
well, I was hoping for what I saw actually. I was hoping, so I'm happy that Miami got in that eighth seed position.
I was surprised at that. I thought with the superstar Butler going down, that would have been it for them, but they stepped up big time.
Yeah, I actually thought so too. I was a bit worried when he wasn't being able to play last night, and I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah.
hoping he'll be fit for the playoffs now
Well,
that
they
they're
said
in
weeks. I'm not sure how many
weeks.
games he's gonna miss, but
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough for them if he's not there.
yeah, and I'm happy to see Pelicans get in too because they had a tough loss against the Lakers. I mean, it
Yeah,
was a good game actually.
that I've always felt that they're a dangerous team, so I'm not surprised at it. I wasn't sure how well they would do because they're so unpredictable, but
Mhm.
good to see them in. I think they're better than the Kings. So
Yeah, I think so. It was a bit yeah, surprising. I thought they would win, but when Zion Williams went out in that game
yeah,
against the Lakers with 3 minutes and a bit to go. It
yeah.
just was like all over for them, I guess.
Yeah, it was. But
I
interesting. I think now that the playoffs are going to actually start, it's going to be pretty cool. I mean, when you look at it, the Lakers going up against the Nuggets. So
yeah,
I don't know what the Lakers are going to do because the Nuggets are just on
they
another
just
level.
yeah
So
they are.
no matter how much superstar Lakers have with Anthony Davis, and LeBron
LeBron
James, I just
and
think
who else?
they
Yeah.
it's Nuggets just have too much for them, just a bit too much for them. And yeah, I think the Cavaliers could be dangerous today as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the game that I want to see today is the 76ers and the Knicks.
Okay.
That's the one
That's
that I think
that's
I want to see. Embiid is back, and
Embiid is playing. Yeah, he's
yeah,
back.
and Bronson's been really good for for the Knicks. So, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and Ananobi went there, OG Ananobi went there, and so it's a lot to look forward to in that game for me. So that's my game that I want to see today. Being
Yeah,
selfish.
yeah, a lot to look forward to, and some
So
yeah,
many
it's
so many games on though. So the Suns are playing the Timberwolves as well,
yeah,
and I think
and
it's going to be
the
fun.
Lakers and Nuggets,
Yep.
Sixers and Knicks, Timberwolves, Suns. Yeah, so
Yeah, Magic Cavaliers.
like
So I think it's going to be an interesting day today for this set of games. If I was to pick, I would say the Nuggets should win today. I'm guessing the 76ers are going to win, although they're playing in New York. I think the
mhm.
Suns are going to win, and I think the Cavaliers are going to win as well. So that's my four picks for today.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just kind of, I'm not a Lakers fan as such, but I like LeBron, and I'm
Yeah, I like
just
LeBron.
hoping that he can go out with something. But it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be very
At
tough
his
for him.
age, I think he's going to struggle against these young Nuggets that are just buzzing. They
Yes,
are just buzzing.
he's just gonna struggle quite a lot. I think I totally agree with you on that. And
Yeah, yeah.
it's gonna be tough for him. But good to see them get into that
Yeah, yeah.
playoffs. Yeah,
You know what? Along the way, they won some games that sort of surprised me. So I won't count them out totally, but I don't see them winning a series. If it's a one-off, maybe, but not a series against these young Nuggets.
yeah. I think the big surprise to me was the Golden State not getting through.
You know what? I don't even know what to say about that one because
Yeah,
I thought it was a mistake. I was like, am I seeing this? Am I sleeping? What is going on here?
I know.
For me, that was a huge. It was. I think it was a shock for them too.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely had to be a shock.
And if you think about it, right, their big three. I mean, they're all hitting free agency. So it's like, what are they gonna do?
Hmm.
Are we gonna keep them? Are we gonna spend a lot of money on them? They're all in their 30s. They have big decisions to make.
Yeah, some huge decisions for sure. And we'll keep an eye on the games this afternoon and next, well, during the week, I must say,
Yeah.
starting today. And then next week, we will have a lot of discussion on the playoffs and see where, by then, we probably might have an idea of what to expect
Oh yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah, for sure. We'll know by then. I think we'll see who's on a roll, and we'll
Yeah,
know who's supposed to be doing something because at this point in time they're just starting. But I think by next week we know for sure that the Lakers are out. So,
yeah. No, we're not going to say that next week. No, it's not going to be four straight.
yeah, yeah, we'll see how that one
Yeah,
goes. Well, before we
yeah.
jump off basketball, I think
Mhm.
just to take a quick look at the Americas, they named their roster for the Olympics.
Oh, okay. I
USA
haven't seen it.
basketball, and
Mhm.
they've said they have struggled a bit in international basketball because they have all this offense and no defense. So they've named a pretty strong team if you really think about it. They got Kawhi Leonard, Jason Tatum, LeBron James, Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Stephen Curry, Bam Adebayo, Devin Booker. So I think they named all their stars: Anthony Edwards, Drew Holiday. So let's see. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
if they can lose, but I mean, it's not a young team. But I believe that this is too much firepower for anybody in the world.
Anyone. Yeah.
But
Anyone
we'll
to
see.
stop him.
International basketball can be funny sometimes. So we
Yeah,
will
the
see.
rules are a little different to the NBA,
Yes,
so
yes, I
those,
know. And it's not
that's
superstardom that gets you. It's the team effort that usually gets you over the hump in the international basketball.
oh wow, a strong team. So I
Yeah,
mean,
big
time
names. I think every
yes,
big name you can think of is there.
yeah. As soon as the NBA finish, then I'm sure they'll start preparing so they can gel together and win
Yeah, but you see, there's not a lot of time because the Olympics is at the end of July,
July, right?
and the NBA ends end of June, early July. So
Mm.
they're gonna have like a few weeks, but they're gonna be tired for
Give
those that went to the finals.
go to the finals, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and
But
get
they'll
there.
figure it out.
But yeah, it'll be a good team. It's a good team.
It
So
is a strong team for sure.
yeah, so I've been watching the Chinese Grand Prix. I don't know if you have. Hamilton looks
Ah,
good, but he's finished second to Verstappen in the sprint.
yeah.
Verstappen is sure his car is so good that
I think Verstappen was, I think, off to a slow start, but I think
Mhm,
you get to see he has a better car.
he
I
does.
think that's what it really boils down to. He has a better car, and I think Hamilton is giving it a shot, but I don't know. Uh,
But he's in the actual race he's only starting from 18th.
18th. I saw that.
But he said he's gonna have some fun. So
He's
he
gonna
may,
make his way up up that line, man. He's not
yeah.
gonna finish under maybe. He's gonna be top five, but I don't know how far up he'll get.
Hmm. I think he said they made massive changes, so he's gonna just experiment.
Coming in, I mean, I was wondering, because I think he was looking really good. I was like, okay, maybe Mercedes made some changes here, and then Verstappen straightened him out. But I think the car seems to be a little better this year than last year.
Yeah, it does seem a little better, and yeah, he started second and in the sprint and looked good, but then
Yeah,
yeah, that car that Verstappen have is just too good for anybody.
I don't think it's a car that needs to be on another planet. It shouldn't be on this
It
planet.
should, yeah,
Yeah,
it's just too good for anyone.
yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
weird
so
how suddenly they're so dominant. But I've got to understand that it's not just the technology. They're using a lot of AI,
mm,
so it's like the whole car is talking to them when it's running, so they know exactly what to touch, what not to touch. So apparently they have taken the next steps in AI, and that's what's beating everybody else. So you come and you change the tires 2 seconds. Everybody can do that now, but the car will tell you when to change, how to change, all of that stuff. The car is telling you now. So I think that's what is making a difference. I've been told. So they have gone deep into AI, and it's paying off for them.
Yeah, it is. Is that fair? Is it?
Yes, yes, it's
Is
technology that is out
it?
there. Everybody can use it.
Everybody can use it.
They just
Okay.
jumped on it earlier than everybody else. Everybody's now trying to catch up, right? So to
Yeah.
tell you the weather conditions, because of course it's AI, so it tells you everything about the track, about the conditions, what
Hmm.
speed to hit the corners in. I think it's telling you all of that now that you know it's taken away maybe some of the decisions from the mechanics and the engineers and the drivers, but I mean it's making you win.
It's making them win. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. So
yeah.
yeah, though that final race goes at 3 a.m. for those who want to get up in the morning, 3 a.m. our time. But
Yeah, it's tough to get up when you know who's going to win.
yeah,
So
I'll probably just watch the replay or something later
watch
in
the
the day
highlights.
or
I'll
the
catch the
highlights.
highlights
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, it's Verstappen in Australia, Verstappen in Japan, Verstappen in China. It's Verstappen anywhere he goes.
Unless you guess do not finish the race, it's
Race, yeah.
Verstappen.
Yeah, that's how it seems right now.
Yeah, so yeah, well, okay, we'll follow that and see how it goes. We also been following some tennis. Swiatek and Rybakina in the semifinals right now in Stuttgart.
Yeah,
Rybakina took the first set, but Swiatek came back and won the second. So six. It's now 1-1 in the
1-1
third.
in the third. Yeah.
And
So I think for me, as I said, I think she should be the dominant player. I don't know what's taking her so long. I think she should be number one and a step above everybody else. But she did take out Raducanu, who seems to be making better plays now. She
correct.
won the U.S. Open, and then she was 18, and I think she got confused with her life. But now she's back, I think, and she's playing better. But she made some progress here. But how I saw Swiatek just, I would say, just dismiss her. I think Swiatek is in great form, and I think she will take this tournament over Rybakina.
Yeah, the thing
This
for
game, I should say. Yeah,
this game, yeah, I think so. Rybakina is playing well, but I think
she is.
Swiatek for sure. But
Yeah.
the thing that puzzles me is the way that Coco is up and down in these tournaments.
Yeah, it's shocking for me actually because I thought after she won the US, I think she was just going to get on this roll.
Hmm.
But again, teenagers getting to the top of the world. Sometimes they have to make this adjustment, so you take a step back before you make two steps forward. And I start to see that's how it's going for her. The consistency that she needs is just not being there.
Yeah, it's not.
Just not there at all. Still
I
talented though, very talented.
very talented, very
And I
talented.
think she knows that she is one for the future, and the future in her case is right now. But I don't think she has to grasp and embrace that the future is now. I think she still
Mm.
knows she's going to be great in the future, but I think she should be great now.
Yeah, she should be great now, and I'm just hoping that yeah, it's probably just something she's going through, and then
Yeah,
we are going to see something better for her coming up. As you said,
for
it's
sure. Right.
and there's so many different things that's going on in her life that
Yeah.
she's young to deal with that.
Yeah.
So
As I said,
hopefully,
Radhika went through the same thing and changed
hmm
coach like 2 times, and now she still seems to be coming back. It took her what 3 years or something. So I
yeah,
think Coco is not going to take that. I think Coco is right there. Still, she just needs to get locked in. She's not locked in right now, in my opinion.
right. I totally agree with you. So we will give an update before we get off the show. That game should be finished by then,
Finished
I
by then.
think.
Yep, it
Before,
should.
yeah. And the other things that's starting or happening now is the hockey playoffs. And every year we say it's our year. Boston, Boston and Toronto. Boston is, I think, the last 3, 4 times we've met Boston, right?
Oh yeah, well, for once,
Because
at one point it was Tampa Bay. That was yes, it's either Boston or Tampa Bay. It seems we get. Um, we got Montreal once too, but I
one,
believe that this Boston team is, and I never thought about it this way, but I think when you really think about it, Boston has had maybe as much disappointments as the Leafs in the last few years, with
true.
reputation wise. They haven't won anything for a little while either. I think in terms of winning over the last 2 years, they're one of the winningest teams, and they haven't really won anything, although they're winning a lot in the regular season. So I think both teams have something to prove.
Hmm.
I believe that Boston has a better goaltender. I believe that the Leafs have more firepower. But I think Boston has an edge in terms of defense and the goaltending. So it's going to be interesting to see if Mr. Austin Matthews, Mr. 69 goals this
69.
regular season. The regular season means nothing, but Mr. 69 we need him to lead the way. I think there's a lot of people around him that can do it, and I love Tavares and all of that and Marner, but I believe Mr. Matthews has to set the tempo for this series. And if he does, the Leafs win. If he doesn't, it's going to be a battle to the end. It's probably going to go all the way to the final game, maybe even in
May-
overtime.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. And so, are you going downtown tonight? Did you
No, no, no. So at 8 o'clock, the game starts
8
at 8,
o'clock?
but no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to get tickets already. I think it's
Yeah,
probably
that's
sold
true. You
out.
have to get tickets. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm
the
sure.
standing space is probably sold out already,
Well,
which is
yeah, it's probably gone in a
really
couple of minutes.
sure, for sure, for sure. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
I guess it's we're going up against Mr. Jason Portwana because he's Mr. Boston
She's a Boston. Yeah,
Boston Bruins. So let's see how he feels about this game. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a very, very good series, and it's going to show what the Maple Leafs are made of. I think they made enough changes to take Boston, but it's going to have to play the game.
yeah. They're gonna have to play. And any other series that stands out for you coming up that you think is
You
gonna
know
be
what? I've been
close?
so locked in on the Leafs.
Yeah.
I think I just want to see that series. I don't know. Anyone for you?
No, not really. Well, Florida and a Gate series. I guess they played. Is it Tampa Bay they play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just looking at that because the Leafs always lose to Tampa Bay for some reason.
So,
So
well,
I'm just hoping Florida can take that and win, Leafs can win.
but
Then
this is the
round
thing. That's
two,
what happened. I think it was last year, right? Where we finally got over Tampa Bay, and then we
um,
head up into Florida, and they
and
straightened us out. So,
that's true. Yeah, yeah. It's always one of those teams
one of
beating me.
those teams come to do it. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I don't know. I think I want to see what Edmonton does.
Hmm.
For sure, I want to see what Edmonton does. Other than that, I think I don't know. Not so much about Vancouver, but I want to see what Edmonton does, and of course, I want to see what the Leafs do. But yeah, all the games are going to be interesting. And you're right, the Florida Tampa Bay, the Florida Derby is going to be hot.
It's gonna be hard. And I think it's first time in a long time we've got four teams in the playoffs, right?
Yes,
Oh,
a
yeah.
very long time actually.
I can't remember how many years, but it's been a lot of years since Vancouver been there.
Yes, it's been a little while for
Could have
Vancouver.
been 8 years or something like that since they've been.
Yeah, it's been a bit, but I know you went and you watched a Winnipeg game recently, so you see
Hmm.
Winnipeg in there against Colorado. So
Winnipeg isn't there.
yeah,
I don't know if Winnipeg has the firepower to beat Colorado, but well,
you
when
know
I
what though? They have lots of heart, based on what you
they
told
do,
me,
they
and they
have
have
lots
the
of
crowd
heart.
behind them.
It's one of the most organized I've ever seen in terms of
There,
hockey. Yeah,
there you go.
the
So
fan base, everything is so good.
it's all about hockey there, and
Yeah.
yeah, they're gonna do something special. But you're right. I'm not sure if they have enough to beat Colorado, but they have a good shot at it. I think
Yes. Once you get in there, you have a shot. You have a
you have
chance.
a shot exactly. And as you
That's
said,
all.
with a team like that, with the crowd behind it, the whole parliament, everybody's behind them, so they have any support they need there. And I think with that, and they're certainly going to be motivated to do well.
Yeah, there will be. And we'll keep an eye on the hockey playoffs as usual. We talk about that every weekend over the next
Yeah,
couple of weeks. It's going to be for a while before we get to the Stanley Cup.
it's going
And
to be a bit, but I'm
yeah,
hopeful that we're going to see a parade downtown Toronto.
I would love that. That would be the greatest thing. It would just cap the year for us. And
Yeah, that's
the wait from since when is it, 67 or
67.
something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
67. It's
it'll
a very
cap
long
that
time
wait.
ago.
Yeah.
Very long time.
So yeah, hockey fever is back in Toronto as usual. So
Yes, yes. Playoff time.
yeah, we are listening to the England Rogers Sports Hour on Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio, and we now are gonna chat a bit of cricket, Roger, because it's
Yeah.
coming to crunch time, and your Jamaican team is out. Made some changes as we talked about last week, but didn't make a difference.
So I was like, okay, England's been saying for a long time that Mr. Blackwood needs to go. So they
Yeah,
kicked him off West Indies and then he went to Jamaica and they kicked him off Jamaica too. So I think he needs to spend some more time with Robert Samuel to see if he could get back his mojo.
yeah,
But he's done, and the Jamaica team it seems to be done with him. I mean, I think they struggle to make 160 anytime they go out there.
yeah.
So
They lost their game already to Trinidad and Tobago.
they did. 3 days.
in 3 days. Yeah, they lost by an innings and 125 runs, and
Embarrassing.
that's yeah,
At
not
home.
good at home.
At
Yeah,
home. At home. And you have one guy taking 13 wickets. I mean,
yes,
I
yeah.
guess he's very special, or Jamaica's are just that bad. I
Um,
don't know which one it
Jamaica.
is, but
I don't think he's Brian Charles is that special, but
no, I don't. He's made it simple. He said, all I did, the Jamaican bowlers were bowling too slow. I just speeded up a little so they didn't have time to go on their back foot. He told
mm,
them. And he still came back and took
and he
7 wickets. So,
took 7 in the second innings. Yeah,
okay, I tell you what
so
I'm going to do, and you still can't play me, then you
yeah,
probably don't deserve to be there.
I think for Jamaica, it's time to really sit down and not just at the cricket level. I think they need to have a look at the whole administration because I'm not sure that they're putting enough into the sport that they used to in the past and seem to be just going through the motion.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe the current president, a man going through the motions.
Mm,
A lot of people say he's more of a marketer than a cricketer.
mm,
He doesn't seem to have much interest. He said he was going to leave, give it up, and then suddenly, I don't know, he's back saying he wants to run again, and he seems to be making moves to sort of cook the election, in my opinion. So it's like, okay, are we going to watch this happen in front of our own eyes here? That this guy's going to cook the election and come back, and he has done very little for cricket. I know Martinita came out before, and he was a lot of people, not only Martinita, but everybody was really
mm.
upset with his lack of interest, his lack of organization. He has, you're right, he has done very little. I don't even think he knows who's playing what out there. I think he's just
I think, I
somewhere
don't
else.
think I know. Yeah. But yeah, Mackenzie did well and I had a decent season. I was
Yeah,
expecting a lot more from him, but good enough, I think. For a youngster. Sometimes we expect too much from the youngsters because they did well one season, but it's all growing, part of the growing, right?
yeah. I think he should have done better, but I mean, that's just me. I think he struggles when he gets into the 40s, 50s,
Hmm.
and it's a sign that the potential is there because he gets there pretty often. So it's just a matter of getting over that hump to hold his head down for another couple hours and get to the 80s, 90s, and the hundreds.
Yeah, for sure. The thing that surprised me this week from this tournament is Guyana now have a chance of being the champions because they
I
won it
know.
and
That sort of
from
shocked me as
nowhere.
well. I thought Leeward had it all
Leeward
wrapped up.
had, I thought so, but poor showing last week, and so did Windward Islands losing to Trinidad last week also pushed them on the back foot. So
Yeah, yeah.
for only if Windward can win today, then they can win the championship. But Guyana is in the ascendancy right now,
Right now, yeah.
and a bit
It would be
shocking.
a feather in their cap to see them win it though, because I think I just said they're descending from the skies, like they're coming out of nowhere.
Hmm.
I never saw them. They were in the mid pack all year.
Oh yeah, I didn't expect that. I was
Uh,
looking for. I wasn't even thinking about Guyana as being
no,
a winner, but here they
no.
are, a chance to defend. And looks like they got a big win by 8 wickets, and
Yeah,
they can be the winners. But they still a couple of games going on. I don't think the Barbados game is going to be a result. Don't look that way.
doesn't look that way right now.
No, Barbados lead by 171. I don't think they will be brave enough to declare and say how to chase it.
I wouldn't.
um, Craig Brathwaite continues his good run of form. He got 90. Um,
Yeah, they rely on him a lot, and
mhm.
he usually steps up. He's a guy that I really appreciate as a cricketer because he's a captain who leads from the front.
Yeah, he is. But all eyes would be on that Leeward Islands game, and that's I don't know if it's gonna be tough. I mean, it's Windward Islands are going strong, 128, 130 for one,
And yeah,
but they still need to get 286 more runs in the day, and
not
it's a
hard.
big
Well, it's
ask.
not easy, but it can be done.
Can be done if these two continue the way they're going, and
Yeah,
then if Alec Athanaze says, "Hey, time for me to make a statement and get 100," because he's been falling short too, I think, this season.
yeah, yeah. He needs to show that he is the man that everybody thinks he is, and get
Yeah,
those hundreds.
yeah, seem to be going through something, and you touched on it. They're young, so who
Yeah,
knows what's on their mind? The stardom so quickly, and
quickly, exactly. Out of
how
nowhere,
they
they're a
do.
star, and they got to
Yeah,
adjust to that. And then when they get adjusted, is when they start doing well again.
yeah, but Well, one player I wanted to talk to you about is Mikel Louis. His first
Mm.
season, 682 runs, three centuries, 450s, and a lot of people are now calling for him to go to England. He said he must be on that. I mean, the commentators, when you listen to them, they said he's booked his ticket. What your thoughts?
I think when he started off, I was like, okay, is this a little flash in the pan? But he has showed that it's more than just a flash in the pan, and this guy is
Mm,
here in terms of. I think he should get an opportunity with that
mhm.
amount of runs. That's some serious runs you're talking about here, and very, very, very consistent performance. So I think based on just that, he should get a shot. Who is he going to go in place of? I'm not 100% sure, but I think he should be in the squad for sure.
Probably be the third opener because I don't think they're going to drop Brathwaite. Brathwaite is the captain, so they're not going
Yeah,
to drop Chanderpaul. I don't think so. So maybe he's the
that's the one
third
that
opener.
I don't know. Should
Yeah.
they look? He's not doing anything
He's
much.
not doing much. He had one century this season. He probably will go, but both of them probably fight for that starting 11
Okay.
spot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
I like Chanda Paul, and I thought just based on his dad that he would have just built and built and got better and better and better. But he seems to have fallen off and seems to be a little up and down. His last series wasn't good at all, but I think give him a shot. I mean, he has the potential. But let's see if they're gonna stick with him or not. I think he deserves a shot though.
an argument I saw this morning, like a post I saw actually from this morning, was that someone posted they accept all that Louis has done and they kudos to him and stuff, but the question was, is England the right place to send him to start as a young player? And should they wait for another season to see the consistency? But the consistency is here this year, so I don't know
Yeah,
what you need to
exactly. Yeah,
wait for.
you don't need to wait for anything. I think
There's no one else that's doing anything special. So he's, I mean, a young man.
exactly. Exactly. I would send. I
And
don't see why I would even think about where he's going. I think, I mean, like, and I go back way back, but I think like Jeffrey Dujon's first series was in Australia. I think Marlon Samuels' first was in Australia, and
mhm,
those are not joke places to start. So
exactly.
I think you know what he's ready now. I believe as a cricketer, and wherever the ball is going to be bowled, he should be there.
And he kind of, when I think of Louis, I think of he's not in the greatness of the Australians and stuff, but if you look, he started out as a leg spinner.
I noticed.
Steve Smith did the same. Look
Yeah.
where he's now. I mean, Louis is, if you look at him, it's not like to say he's not a batsman that you're gonna say, "Hey, let me stop and look at him." But he compiles the run, and the same thing as Steve Smith. I'm not gonna say, "Hey, I'm gonna stop everything I'm doing to watch Steve Smith." So don't
No,
get me wrong when I
but
talk about Louis. But they get the runs.
at the end of the day, when you look at the score, you see 80s, 70s, whatever. It's not you're
Yeah,
not gonna die if you miss what he's doing, but for sure they perform and they perform fairly
they perform.
consistently.
And he's a determined young man, and
That's
think he
what you
should.
need.
I think he should be selected. He's got
A
probably.
100%, I'm with you, man. I think he
Yeah,
needs, and I think age and everything. I think it's good to get the younger players in there. West Indies has a bunch of older guys.
yeah, I think you need to get in. Another person I think should go be considered, and I think the selectors got this wrong. Is Casey Carty. I think he's more of a test player than a one-day player, but they have him in the one-day squad and not the test squad. So
Yeah, is he interested in Test cricket though?
I
That's
think
that's
he
what it.
is. I
Okay,
think he wants
okay.
to play Test cricket, and I think I think West Indies has a chance to build a good team with like
If
Casey Carty, guys like
that's an
McKenzie,
is,
Anthony's, and these. Yeah, I
yeah.
think it's time to build a really good team.
I think so too. Okay, the core I think is being built, and I think the core is the young core is pretty solid, and if they gel, that they can become great. Carter, I think I at first I was like I think he's overrated, but he has slowly grown on me, and I have to respect what he's been doing. So I would say that yeah, he should get a shot at Test cricket.
Yeah, you should. And the only thing for these young players that I think that somebody like a mental coach or something, a mental should be with them because I believe that looking at them, they seem to be, and even talking to players, young players nowadays, they have so many things in their minds. They're not making it simple. They're
Thank you.
thinking too much.
Thank you. No, I totally agree. And they have so much distractions around them.
Yeah,
I believe in professional sports at the top level here, you gotta have the mental side being looked after. You got
Mm,
to have a psychologist with you, with the team all the time.
yeah,
Especially when you have the youngsters coming up, you need that psychologist with you because at this point in time, you know, as they say in the 70s, there was even an argument. Someone said, "Do you think Jordan would be as good as he was if social
right.
media was there at that time?" So, they have so many things going on right now that they
Yes,
do need to support and need an understanding of how to think, how to approach stuff. So I think it is important for them to get that support because, in my opinion, that is
mhm.
what is missing most of the times from Caribbean and West and Caribbean sports in
I
general.
I totally agree with you. I mean, if you look at Facebook, so any social media, Instagram, I mean, these athletes, the things they have to go through because
Yes.
there's so much fake stuff.
Lots of fake stuff, a lot of
You know,
people bringing them down,
bringing it, yeah,
a lot of people saying telling lies on them. It's like,
yeah,
it's difficult, and then
it
you
is very.
try not to shut it out totally because if you do, then you're out of sync with what's going on.
Hmm.
It's just tough for them. They just need to understand when to engage, when not to engage, and stuff like that.
Yeah, they do, and I wish them all the best, and I hope that the people in charge will realize that's needed and make the
Yep,
necessary adjustments.
I
But
hope so.
so besides this championship, I guess the biggest thing in sport that's happening is
IPL,
IPL.
IPL,
IPL. I mean,
and
everything shuts down, right?
for the IPL, and
Mm.
a perennial winner, the Mumbai Indians. They are coming back. Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, it looks like they're coming back. They they're looking good, and it's a lot. So many games that there's a chance to come up. They're climbing back up the table. They're seventh now. They're won a
Yeah.
couple of games. So
You know what? A coworker of mine told me once. He said, "I'll look at the results year over year. The
mhm.
Mumbai Indians are always going to find a way to win." So it's like, okay. And I started watching it since, and they generally find a way to get back right in it. Always.
Yeah, I actually don't even pay a lot of attention to the tables until closer to the end
Closer to the time.
because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
always seemed like 8 out of the 10 teams have a chance in the last week
Yeah. True.
to get
True.
it into
True.
the final four. And Rajasthan is now at the top and
Yep.
doing well. And there's a lot of callers for IPL because I mean, Sunil Narayan is having a tremendous year, a year of
I
his life
noticed. I
in the
noticed.
bat and ball, and
I noticed.
that, and even the captain Powell said he's been talking to everybody to try and get him back in the
I,
West
I,
Indies.
I saw. I don't know what your thoughts are on this because when is the last time he actually played for the West Indies? I don't know, but there's a
I
huge
don't know,
Powell. You got, I think, the
four or
Prime
five
Minister
years
of
ago.
Trinidad. I think the whole Caribbean
I
is trying
mean,
to put him onto the team. Does he want to be on the team though?
he said no. He said he'll be. He was asked a question and by Badre, and he said he will be watching from his bedroom, from his house.
That's the part that I thought. It's like, why are they
Yeah,
pressuring? This man has said over and over, he's
yeah.
done. He's retired. He's done.
And then Bishop up to yesterday said, "Listen, if he wants, he walks right into the team
Team, yeah.
by
And he could have done
restraint."
that at
Yeah.
any time over the last 10 years, if you ask me. And he
Yeah.
never usually shows up.
I
Hardly.
guess I guess because it's home in the Caribbean, they want him to be a part of it, and they're hoping that he's there. But Narayan don't seem to have any interest in playing for West
That's it.
Indies anymore. He's enjoying his cricket
It's
where he is, and just
exactly.
so that
And
discussion. I don't
it
know.
keeps going, and it's a loud discussion. But I think the guy's made up his mind. I think both him and this Hetmeyer guy, they have very little interest in playing for West Indies. They seem to just play cricket and enjoy their cricket when they feel like.
I
That's my
think
opinion.
it's You're right because I think it's Gavaskar who mentioned that Hetmeyer is a different player in the IPL, and when he
Yeah,
puts on West Indies clothes,
exactly. Very different.
very different player.
He
And
plays well over there. I can tell you
yeah,
that.
yeah, he's not interested in playing for West
He
Indies.
doesn't even come to the camp. He shows he doesn't
Nope.
even go on the plane when they book a ticket for him. So what
Yeah,
does that tell you? He's not interested.
he's not interested. He's just want to play the IPLs and
Yeah,
the franchise leagues, and he's happy
make
with
some
that.
money, hang out at his home, and eat some food.
Yep. And don't seem to be working too hard on his fitness.
No,
Just
that's why I said. That's why I said
eat
eat
some
some
food,
food because he's quite chubby
and
and he seems
some
comfortable with his chubbiness.
some nice restaurants around where he goes to.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah,
But
I think if Narayan doesn't want to play, I wouldn't even try to force
I
him.
would say leave him alone. I mean,
Yeah,
give him kudos for what he's doing because he's doing really, really well. But at the end of the day, he doesn't want to play for the West Indies.
no, he doesn't want to play, so just forget about him. But
And I've already forgotten about him
yeah, I
from
mean,
a
I
West Indies
think
point of view.
the last team that played West Indies last series was pretty good, so I don't see why they want to have all these
Uh,
guys coming back here.
Coming back, yeah, you
I
don't
mean,
bring them back, in my opinion.
person I just want to see back in form is Brandon King if he gets back to form.
Yeah, he seems up and down a bit. But I think when he's on a roll, he's on a roll. But I don't know. Yeah, he's fairly consistent, but he should be doing better than what he's doing for sure.
I don't know if you've been watching. I've watched a few games recently, and something with the scores, the pitches are just crazy. I mean, even the game going on right now, Roger, 7 overs, and the score is 133 for two
In 7 overs.
in 7 overs.
They
So
just throwing the
I,
ball up and say, hit it. Is
I,
that what
I I mean, a 19 run rate, like I can't believe that. I mean,
that's unbelievable.
some of the top bowlers have bowled gone for a lot. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Travis Head is on 86 in 28 balls, so he's gonna break the record for
Wow,
the
world record that
fastest
he's
one.
going for.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's world record paces on there.
yeah, he's gonna have the fastest century ever. He's hit 11 fours and six sixes so far.
Is gonna. Wow, that's very impressive. Very, very, very
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah.
And
I
we
mean,
thought
I
Chris
saw.
Gayle was good.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen scores. He might be going for Chris Gale's 175.
The way he's going right now,
The way
yeah.
he's going. The I saw 286 sometime in the week. All the scores have been over 200 recently in some of the
Yeah.
games, and I saw 133, and when I saw the 133, I looked at the time, and because I know the game was starting 10 o'clock, I couldn't believe in half an hour that's the score.
I know. I
Wow.
know. I know they want to make the cricket interested, and I mean that's interesting in the sport when you hit sixes and fours. So the crowd is probably having a ball out there.
Yeah, we will update you and let you know what's the score at been by the time we're ready to go off. But yeah, that's crazy and that IPL. Um, because I just want to quickly wrap up with the IPL with the KKR play RCB tomorrow. Punjab Kings play Gujarat Tigers tomorrow, and those are the games 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock a.m.
So, hmm
And West Indies. I want to talk a bit about the West Indies women before we get off because they're up
for
one
sure.
nothing in the series against Pakistan, and Haley
Yeah.
Matthews just seems to be at another level when it comes to cricket.
I was about to ask you. I mean, some people are saying she's
Yeah,
the greatest of all time. I think it's a little premature for that, but
it's a
right now I
little
think she's the greatest
premature.
right now. But how good is this woman? I think
She,
yeah,
I
she
mean,
is
I know
exceptionally good right now.
she dominated in the T20.
Yeah,
Then she was actually named Wisden T20 Player
yeah,
of the Year,
yeah,
first
yeah,
for a woman in the 7 year history of the
yeah.
Player of the Year.
She's
And
doing something really special though, Ingle. She is really special, I must say.
yeah, and the IPL I was a bit worried because even after the IPL they were talking about she shouldn't be there, but she probably was tired and played so much
Yeah,
cricket
yes.
and didn't have the greatest season. But I mean, she's now showing that she can play
When
50
she's
over as well,
ready, yeah,
140 not out. I
yeah.
mean, she has to be the greatest bat player right now. And then she came back and got 3 wickets.
Yeah, 3 for
So
17. So I'm saying to myself that, you know what, if she continues like this for another year or so, then yeah, she's definitely in the conversation about the greatest ever.
yeah, definitely. The person that I want to see get some runs because she looked good in the Caribbean was Stephanie Taylor.
Yeah, she only got two, but I think yeah,
She
she's gonna be there or thereabouts. She's not gonna be as good as Haley Matthews is right now, I don't think, but she's
yeah.
gonna get some good runs though because she is an extremely great player as well.
And another one that I see coming on well is Charmaine Campbell. She looks
Campbell,
good,
yeah,
and yeah,
yeah,
she's a good player. And Chanel
yeah.
Henry.
Chanel
Um,
Henry.
yeah,
I think the women. I'm happy to see that they're competitive and doing well again because for some reason I don't know why they fell off, but I think they're back.
yeah, they're back. So yeah, that's the next match goes tomorrow. So I'm anxious to see how she does and to see how the team does on a
Team
whole.
does go up
Yeah,
2-0, and then they won
nothing.
the series, and then they one more game, and then the 5T20s. So
Have
yeah,
a lot of fun in the next game.
yes, yes, they should.
So, so I just want to end the cricket segment with not some great news, but Canada lost the T20 series to the US 4-0. I'm not too worried
For
about it.
nothing.
Yeah, not too worried about it because I think Canada played a lot of 50 overs. So coming to T20, they didn't adapt. So, but it's
Okay,
going to be a different story in the World Cup. I'm sure you'll see a better performance from the
they'll be
guys in
ready
the World
for T20s by then.
for sure. So that's it for me for cricket. And yeah, we got about 20 minutes to go, so we should get into some track and field if there's nothing else on cricket.
Yeah, track and field time. And, as mentioned, this weekend is a crazy weekend for track and field. I think everybody and their mother is coming out to show that they're starting their season. Well, of course, except
Hmm.
those three Jamaican women that hasn't showed up as yet. But at this
Haven't
point
showed
in
up,
time,
right?
yeah, we haven't
Any
seen Sherika
injuries?
Jackson, or not that anyone is willing to say. So, but I think Elaine is scheduled to run next week. I don't
Mm,
hear a word about when Shelly's going to run, and Sherika has been canceling. She was supposed to be there today, and she canceled,
mm.
and so she's canceling a lot. So we'll see. But the Diamond League started a little earlier than usual, but it started today over there in China, and it was fascinating to see some of the results because for me, nothing beats a world record. And when you have an event with a world record, then it's an exciting event. And the world records went down today
Yeah,
with Armando
yeah.
Duplantis in the pole vault.
Is that another
6.24
100,000?
meters. What's that?
Is that another 100,000?
That's another 100,000 for this young man.
Wow.
so yeah, he moved it from 623 to 624,
Mm.
and I'm
Yeah,
sure
he's
maybe by
smart.
the end of the year he's going to go to 625. But yeah, he dropped the world record. It was amazing to see him go up and just do it like that. So fascinating. But overall, it was a good meet. We saw Canadian Mark Air up in 800 meters, the world champion. He hung on for dear life. And when I say hung on for dear life, he would battle down the straight and ended up winning in 1:43.62, world leading time. Fascinating to see how tough he is because he got covered, but he fought his way and won that race. Really, really good to see that. Miss Young Lady was there though, Ingle. Shakari Richardson, she was
She
there.
was there. Yeah, she was there,
And
and
and she lost.
she
It's
did.
like,
But she's fine with it. She said. She said she was
yeah,
good. She was happy with it
yeah.
coming out.
She came out. She didn't. I like her hairstyle, and I think she
Yeah.
liked it too. But she went totally afro. But
Hmm.
she didn't. She wasn't very dominant on the turn, and she came down the straight, and she picked it up down the straight. She picked it up down the straight, and then she finally thought she won because she was ahead of everybody that was around her. But then at the last minute, she looked in lane nine, just like what she did at the World Championships. Nobody saw her over there. This young Aussie, 19-year-old young lady, 19-year-old. Not a lot of people know about Miss Lewis.
Sorry about
That's all
that.
right. So Miss Lewis came through, the 19-year-old, in lane nine, 22.96 to Shakari Richardson, 22.99. So she lost in her season opener, but it was still a good time. And as you said, she is fine with it.
Yeah,
Now, a
she's
lot,
happy.
a lot has been made about Devin Charlton and that 100-meter hurdles race today because a lot of big names were in there. The world record holder for the 60, Charlton. You had the Olympic champion Camacho Quinn. You had Toby Amison, the world record holder. You had Daniel Williams, the world champion. But the race was won by the Olympic champion Camacho Quinn,
Mhm.
12.45 over Devin Charlton of the Bahamas, 12.49. We also saw a very exciting 100-meter race where Christian Coleman. He changed up his race, Ingle. He didn't fly to the blocks and then get caught. He had that push from 30 to
Push
60
from.
meters and he
Yeah.
blew by them. And he won fairly easily in 10.13 over Fred Curley with Akeem Blake third and Rohan Watson from Jamaica fourth. Interesting for me, though, was that Johan Blake was all the way back in eighth. He didn't look as sharp as he probably should. So I think he's going to be in trouble to
What's
make the
happening
Jamaica
with him?
team.
Yeah, he's not been running that good.
No, no, but
This
we'll see how he's gonna shape up.
a
We
lot of
also,
a question I was gonna ask you, is it a track or they're running like in the 10? I've seen a lot of races where they're just running 10, and not too many people under 10 this year so far.
not yet, and I think it's gonna explode really soon. This is just the first meet, but I think by the end of the month you're gonna see a lot of nine nines out there.
Okay.
It was negative win here. The track doesn't seem to be super fast either, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm fairly confident that by the end of the month, all these meets that are coming up over the next couple of weeks, including today, in America and in Jamaica, we're gonna see some nines that are gonna be dropping. Um, there's another meet going on in Nairobi, Kenya, which is
Right.
slightly altitude. I'm not sure exactly how high it is, but I'm not sure if they're going to get an A with it. But for me, the big race was that 200-meter race where let's see Tibogo. He has broken the 300-meter world record. He ran 44.2 in the 400. He's two times world junior champion in the 100, so he has it all. But he lost. Surprisingly, he lost today
Nice.
to
Wow.
the world leader, Courtney Lindsay. So Lindsay came in running some fast 19.8, and Lindsay was not the favorite because Tobago is in the race. But Lindsay came out and said he's going to make it difficult for Tobago, and he did. He, he blasted out of those blocks. And Tobago ran him down, and caught him at the line, but didn't pass him. So they both had a world lead in 19.71. To see 19.71 Ingle and the 20th of April, it's shocking. You usually don't see that fast time.
That is quick.
But they both did the same time, 19.71. So interesting to see just how the year is going to go. But it was a really, really good race. And Tobago looked like he was a little sluggish. Maybe he's not sharp as yet, but we'll see as the year goes on. But Lindsay looked like he was in fine nick, and he just got up and was just sailing around that corner. So some good races today. Some good races today so far in the morning. First thing in the morning, we're not even 11 o'clock yet, and we've seen all these fantastic races. But as mentioned, it's an action-packed weekend, Ingle. So we got the Diamond League in China, we got the Continental League over there in Nairobi, Kenya. But in Jamaica, there is the Velocity Fest today, and we're going to see lots of the young Jamaicans coming out too to show what they can do. NCAA has a whole ton of meets. We want to see what young Jamaican Brianna Liston is going to do.
Hmm.
The American that she beat in the 60 meters at the indoor championship for NCAA, Jason Sears, she came out and she ran 10.77. So 10.77 is the second fastest time ever for a collegian. Only Shakari Richardson's 10.75 is faster. So let's see if Brianna Liston is going to come back and be able to beat this young lady as the year goes on. But we're looking forward to see just how good she is going to do. So lots of meet this weekend, Ingle. Lots. After this weekend, we'll see how things are shaping up. As I told you earlier on, April. Everybody comes out in April. So we
Yeah.
have 2 weeks to go. But some very, very fascinating racing is going on right now in the track and field world.
Yeah, I'm looking
Um,
forward to seeing the Jamaicans come out and start because I'm just waiting.
a, a bunch of them are coming out today. A bunch of them are
Okay.
coming out today. We also the Racers Grand Prix is coming up in June 1st, and I think the big marquee event. A lot of people are going to go there, so we'll talk about it as we get closer. But the 100 meter for men, I think, is the one that a lot of people are buzzing about because Noah Lyles will be there, the world champion, and he'll be joined by Hughes, Darnell Hughes, who trains in Jamaica, but he was third in the world championship. And then also going to be there is Oblique Seville, also trains in Jamaica. So
Oh,
Hughes and Seville trained by Glenn Mills over there at Racers Track Club. So three of the top four in the 100 meters from the World Championships will be there. So the only one missing is going to be Tobago. So that is going to be a hot, hot, hot 100-meter race, and a lot of people are talking about it already. That wow, it's going to be mouth watering that event, and some very fast time is going to be running there. So we will see when we get around to that, but it's something certainly to look forward to. In some news about what's coming up in the World Relays, so it's May 5th, 2 weeks from now, and I should say disappointing. Most of the teams, Ingle, their top stars are not going to be there. Like
right.
the Jamaicans, none of the top stars are going to be there. It's like a B team going almost for Jamaica. Some countries have some stars. I think Noah Lyles is going, but and Gabby Thomas, but most of the top Americans, Shakari's not going, and you
Mm.
know Sidney McLaughlin is not going, and I think so. There's a whole bunch of people that are just not going. So I'm not sure what that is going to mean for the event. I know Canada is sending their top team, so let's see how Canada does. But some countries have not, sent their best athletes, which is disappointing. But usually the World Relays does not happen in the same year as the Olympics, but because it was missed last year, they're doing it this year. So I'm not sure if the timing is bad for some of these athletes as they prepare for the Olympics. But it's still going to be an exciting event. I think we'll have enough power there, star power, to make it interesting for sure.
Yeah.
We have Yulimar Rojas from Venezuela, unbeatable in the triple jump
Mm.
for years
Yeah.
and years and years, world champion, Olympic champion, world record holder. She got injured in training, Ingle, in
Oh,
training,
really? Wow.
and she's out of the Olympics.
Are you
Out of
serious? Oh,
out
out
of
of
the
that.
Olympics. So,
I
which is
thought she,
huge.
I thought she was gonna. I mean, if I had one win ticked already was hers, but
Hers,
now she's
yeah, yeah. She's not going to be there.
uh,
So Gonna be interesting to see how that goes for sure. Now that she's not there, who's gonna take it over?
Who's going to take it over? They've got some good Jamaicans coming up too as well.
Yeah,
There's a young
the
lady from
Jamaicans are
Jamaica.
there. But
Yeah.
interesting for me is that young lady from Dominica,
Yes,
La
she was
Fond.
good.
She won World Indoors
Well, yes.
and she jumped over 15. So now she must be thinking that this could be gold outdoor too. So
There's a chance.
I tell you, if she wins Dominica, I think it's gonna blow up in terms of how they're gonna celebrate with
Could you
joy.
imagine if could you imagine if Dominica and St. Lucia win? The Windward Islands are
Can
gonna
you
go
imagine?
crazy.
Oh, they will go totally nuts
Don't-
over there. Totally nuts. So I'd be happy for them, though. I'd be totally happy for them. So yes, we'll see how that goes. In some other news and notes, so the big talking point, and I think it's a little undeserved, but I think we'll see what happens with it. World Athletics has decided to pay $50,000 US to anybody who wins a gold medal in track and field.
Mhm.
But the rest of the Olympic sports bodies are criticizing it. They're not happy at all. And
Yeah,
they're
I've seen
coming up with
some. Yeah,
some really bad comments, and it undermines the
yeah,
values of Olympism and the uniqueness of the Olympics. One cannot and should not put a price on the Olympic gold medal. Olympians already indirectly benefit from endorsements because they did well at the Olympics. But I think they were not happy because they said they were neither informed nor consulted. So I don't know what your thoughts are on this because the biggest complaint has been the Olympic Organizing Committee or the IOC makes billions of the Olympics. Athletes get nothing. They don't get anything at all.
I
Now
have
they're
no
going to
issue with that.
go ahead.
No, I said I have no issue with it. I think athletes they should be compensated for winning. So I have not a problem with it.
Yeah, I think what some of them are saying now is that other sport bodies can't do this, and swimming can't find the money to do it. Cycling, for
Oh, okay.
example. So that's their argument is that,
So if it's
but
done, it should be done across the board, I
across the
guess.
board, right? So, but you know what? I know that the IOC gives money to these federations. So, like the US, for example, they use their money to pay their athletes. Some of them use it for development of the sport. Some of them I don't even know where the money goes. But that's the big argument: is what is
Right.
it going to be used for? But I believe that it's a good move for the athletes to get paid, and it's going to be interesting to see how much pushback is going to happen. But I think Co has already made up his mind and he's doing it. So let's
Yeah.
see how that goes. But kudos to him for being tough on this one, and he's getting a lot of backlash, but he's standing firm. So I'll give him that. Other news and notes: Penn Relays is going to posthumously honor our my friend,
Yeah.
world-renowned journalist Hubert Lawrence with a
Hmm.
Abramson Award. So kudos to them stepping up. I mean, he was there every year pretty much. So every time I was there, he was there. So passed away recently, and they're going to honor him at the Penn Relay. So that's something that is really I'm really happy to see, and I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful event.
Are you
Surprising though, I
going
think
to are you going
no,
to the race this year?
next Saturday, no, I don't think I'll be able
No,
to
oh,
make
it's
it.
next week. Yeah, right.
Yes, next Saturday. But another thing I know is that they're doing, they're going to have entertainment there, and they're going to have a reggae pop-up vibe as Chris Martin is going to
Mm.
perform at the Penn Relays. So they're trying to bring entertainment to sports, and interesting to see how that goes off. But that's what they're planning to do next weekend over there in Philadelphia. So should be exciting times for those that are there.
Should be.
And finally, in track and field, before we run off to soccer, is that the J3A got a big proposal from Adidas, who went public for, strangely enough. They're going to give them 5.6 billion Jamaican dollars to be the Jamaican Track and Field Association sponsors. They're currently sponsored by Puma,
Puma, yeah.
who doesn't pay anything close to that. Now, the J3A has not said anything. They said they can't talk about it, no comments, no comments. But a lot of people are saying a lot of things behind the scenes. So everybody's going to see what happens. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, though.
Is that for this Olympics or come
No,
starting this
for
year?
the next like 8 years,
Next age is starting this year? Because
starting yes,
Jamaica
it will be late this year because
late this year.
the sponsorship
You
for
know,
Puma ends, I think, in November or December.
because I think it's nowadays it's basically who gives you the best offer and the best buck you can get. I
But
mean,
I think that's the problem that
in
Jamaicans are saying. They believe Adidas gave a better offer the last time and it wasn't taken. I mean, the
mm,
JTRs has come out and said that is not true. But that's a belief in the in the
maybe
grapevine.
Puma's been with Jamaica for so long that I
Correct.
mean, I'd see Puma as Jamaica.
That's what everybody sees, you know. But
Yeah,
if this guy's gonna give you twice the amount of money that Puma is giving
that
you, and I
Puma.
think it's more than twice from what I've been told,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be interesting to see what Puma can match it, and they certainly have the first right of refusal. So let's see what happens. But it's gonna be very very interesting to see how that one works out. It's gonna be very very interesting to see
It will be.
how that works out. So we'll watch that one for sure. I think they said they can't negotiate before 6 months. So let's see what happens in the next couple of months. Maybe by June when they have to negotiate with Adidas. But the big surprise for me is that Adidas went public with it.
Maybe it's to put pressure.
That's exactly it. I mean, they know they really want it because they're saying they're going to give you $250,000 US a year to develop stadiums.
Wow.
How can you turn down that?
Thank you. No,
That was a big one. So let's see how that one goes. Let's quickly talk about some football before we run out of time. So Canada is going to get a chance to play France this summer in a practice
funny.
game. So Canadian men against number two France on June 9th. So let's see how Canada can do. They're going to play in France. So when you get an opportunity to play the number two team in the world, it's always fascinating to see. So let's see what Canada can do when they get there. I think I don't know if you watch the Champions League, Ingle, but it was an exciting Champions League
Finally.
quarterfinals, man.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting. PSG found a way to get through. Found a way to get through, which is interesting to see. Bayern Munich found a way to get
Find
through.
a way to get through.
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So the thing for me is that no English team made it through.
No, none of them did. That's true.
So Arsenal got knocked out, and so yeah, and City got knocked out by Madrid. So it's going to be interesting to see how this. It's going to be hard for Real Madrid to lose because they tend to just win these Champions Leagues whenever they want. But it's going to be pretty exciting as it moves forward. So semifinals are coming up. Same thing in the Europa League and the Europa Cup. But I think this weekend is the FA Cup semifinals, which you have a very strong interest in, I'm sure, Ingo.
Chelsea, yeah.
What is the thought? Chelsea going up against City tomorrow.
I think Chelsea will win.
Oh my!
City can't win everything all the time.
I heard that City
Chelsea's
has the best team money can buy.
they have the best team money can buy, but Chelsea's a team that plays well against the big teams, uh,
Yeah.
teams that they're
This is a big
familiar
game
with.
for them, though.
And it's a
And I
big
mean,
game.
yeah, City just lost to Madrid and penalty kicks there, so maybe they're a
Correct.
little down. Who knows? And this is not the league, which they seem as if they're going to find a way to win again. But it's going to be an interesting game. It's hard to beat City, though. I'm not sure if
Yeah, that
Chelsea
comes
is
up.
ready for that.
Yeah, that comes up today, right? At in a bit, I guess. What time? 2 o'clock our time.
Yeah. So let's see how if they're ready. And you believe they're ready because you're a Chelsea
I
fan.
think they're ready for sure.
Yeah, I'm. You know what? Don't be surprised, but I'm actually going with you. I think Chelsea's going to find a way to win this game.
Yeah.
They have things to prove. Things to prove.
Well, I don't know if you have anything else in stock. We just got about 2 minutes to the minute to
Yeah.
wrap up, and just looking at the tennis scores, and Rybakina is 5-3 up, and it's 40 all in the third set. So
Wow, look at that. I'm wrong
yeah,
again. Swiatek finds a way to lose.
she's lost yet. She's still fighting. She was down
But
40-15, but she's
she's fighting
serving,
her way
so
back.
she's
Yeah.
fighting her way back. Yeah, so we just want to wrap up with that, and thank you for listening to another
Quickly
edition.
before we
Hmm?
run out, I mean, I know we have
Go
a
ahead.
minute. So this Jonte Porter guy from the Raptors,
Oh
banned
yeah,
for
yeah,
life again.
that's
What
life.
are your thoughts on this? Because he looks like
I
such an
think
innocent kid.
he does, and it's harsh, and I'm sure there were other people behind the scenes when these things
Yeah.
happen. It's not just him, and it's sad to see. I mean, you make millions, but then you go and bet and just win
Twenty
22,000.
thousand dollars. It's like
Come
it
on,
didn't make sense to me.
it
And
didn't make
that,
sense.
it's
And
like,
then his friend, I guess, bet on a game as the investigation says, and he won
yeah,
over 1 million, but didn't get
there,
the payout.
yeah, there you go. So I don't know. It's disappointing to see, and it's a
It's
huge thing because
disappointing.
they're gonna have to react to this, and they can't afford for it to happen again. So
No,
it's gonna be interesting to see what they do going forward. But it was very, very sad day, in my opinion, for the NBA and for the Raptors, actually.
it was. I mean, we saw what happened in baseball as well
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
the translator for
So
yeah.
he did, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
That was another one too. Some people
so
believe he's just taking the rap for.
for
Anyway,
him.
I
Yeah,
won't get into
we
that,
won't
but
get it exactly, but
conspiracy theories are out there for sure.
But Porter, sad to see that happen to him. But
Very, very
yeah.
sad. Very sad.
And as we speak, Rebecca just won. So
Yeah, I could see it coming.
yeah.
I could feel it.
So Science Tech is not in the final. So surprisingly,
Yeah, well, what? It's after a while we can't keep saying it's a surprise. She's just not ready anymore.
true. So thank you for listening to another edition of the England Rogers Sports Hour on Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. And enjoy the rest of your weekend and be safe.
Have a fascinating weekend, everybody. See you next week.